if we're at dinner and like we ain't never had sex before and like we finishing up, like he's getting ready to pay the bill and he looks at me and says, "So tonight, like, can we have sex?" It's like, bro, wait, what? Like I get that is as direct as he can be. That would allow me to answer as directly as I would like to. But at the same time, that makes things very, very, because even if I was attracted to you at one point in time, when you ask me a question in that manner, I'm not looking at you as being lame or gay or anything like that. You've just made the energy very strange and tight, right? So like back to what she was saying, it needs to be like a very natural thing. Like it needs to just, first of all, you read the room, right? Like we talked about this, and a lot of men are not great at this. Like reading the room is not a skill that a lot of men possess.
They're fucking terrible.
I gotta, can I, because, and I feel like, Mary, you would appreciate this, right? Because like the whole, everything, Freck, that you have said thus far, because I don't know what you're about to say, but it's kind of like on, it's aligning with like giving women all of the power when it comes down to sex, right? Because we're talking about reading a room, we're talking about making natural, we're talking about making normal. Yeah, but according to who? You know what I'm saying? Because like if I'm naturally and normally a very direct communicative person, and I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and I say what's on my mind and I say what I'm feeling, me saying like, yo, like, would you mind if we have sex tonight? Like, what if that's normal and natural for me?
And that's
but if it's not
But-
normal, if it's not normal and natural for you and how you communicate, now we're not being natural and we're not being normal, and now it's being awkward. But for who? Only for you, not for me.
Yeah, you know what? I have to rebuttal on that. I have to rebuttal. Reason I have to rebuttal.
Yes, come on, rebut. Sorry.
Yeah, rebuttal. I gotta, the reason I have to challenge that is, you know, just because you're blunt and straight up like that, and that's understandable, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Hey, yes.
Like it's you have to read the room with these situations. Like I've said a lot of these things, I've asked consent. I've asked consent. I'm like, yo, could I kiss you? Could I do this? Like even the situation when me and homie got into it or whatever the case is, that one, before we left that pool hall, I looked at her, I'm like, yo, let's get out of here. You want to come to the crib? She looked at me, she's like, yeah. I kissed her, went to go pay for the thing. I knew what that meant. She knew what that meant. And even if it wasn't what we both thought it meant, when we get to the crib, she wouldn't like, I get as men, we blunt. At the end of the day, you know, I've always heard this. Women control access to sex, men control access to relationship. If you know she's controlling the access, whether you want to accept it or not, she has full access. And if you want to get what you want from her, there's a particular way you have to get it from her.
But all I'm saying is though, like this room, what I'm saying is the room that y'all talking about reading, you guys are presenting it as if it's not my room, it's hers. And if that's what it is, then that's cool, then that's what it is. But I just want to let it be known that that's what y'all are implying. Because why am I the only one who needs to read the room in the scenario? Is what
you're the one initiating it, then you need to read the room.
Control access to it. So you have to look. It's like anything. If I want to get to Philly, I gotta learn how to drive, right? Like I gotta learn. It's the same thing.
Take the train.
It's same thing with women. If you could take the train, whatever. But what I'm saying is like you have to figure out how to get to Philly, right?
Okay.
That you could either if the only way I could get to Philly is by driving, I have to learn how to drive. It's the same shit with women. You have to learn how to talk to women. It's simple, bro. Like,
but
And I understand the factor of each woman is different, but yes, there's exceptions to the rule. Not every.
Bro,
I
but
see.
what
I
I'm
see. Right. I'm
yo,
gonna give you that.
But wait,
every woman
but
is
wait,
different. Go ahead, go ahead.
Every
because
woman is different. There's always an exception to the rule, but for the most part, I'm giving you the example I've seen. Like the only reason I remember I made that episode like 4 years ago was because what worked with one woman didn't work with the other. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like
So,
it's
but this is my one point though, right? If I'm staying on the because niggas love to go off vibes, right? Vibes and natural and cool and normal and all of this, right? But we still going off of what's natural and what's making the woman feel most comfortable. Because honestly, what if it's awkward for me and abnormal for me and unnatural for me to try to fucking finesse my way into some pussy? What if that's awkward for me?
Then don't do it.
Then you don't get no
Correct.
pussy.
But what I'm saying is, if that's awkward for me, but that's what
Do what's
women.
natural for you.
What I'm.
Maybe I misspoke in that. I'm saying it should be natural and through communication, whether I just meet a nigga at the bar or we've been talking on the phone or I meet him online, which most of the guys say they have been online. It's up to me to open that line of communication. I have accepted a long time ago. You don't know shit about me, but how fat that ass is, how wide those hips are, and how juicy them hips are. That shit is who wear glasses is true. It is up to me to then show you that behind these fake titties is a heart. Up under this weave is a mind. You know what I'm saying? And all of that other
first
shit.
of all, you better talk, okay? You better fucking talk.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, you can see the ass from the front, but you also have to hold up, swell up. We gonna get
Okay,
there.
blood.
Hold
But-
up, swole up.
She's fucking nuts, man.
But it's up to me to do that. So once, as a woman, I had to accept. And you know, who told me that? My father. My father told me that shit a long ass time ago. And then niggas reinforced it. And I'm like, dang, daddy, you really true. He's like, I'm 30 years older than you. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if that's awkward for you, then you don't do it. I think that Black men have to stop tiptoeing around us, stop assuming we don't suck dick, stop assuming we don't want the face splash, stop assuming things and just have a fucking
Face
conversation.
Nah. Yeah. We live in a day and we live in a day and era that everything a man do is toxic masculinity. That's the reason we walking on eggshells. I'm gonna
But
keep
who is
like
pushing that narrative? Because not everybody is like that, and I agree.
not everyone is, but when a man is overly assertive, the way Jackson is saying, it's like it's kind of like you cut the legs under. It's like there's a reason why I asked for consent now. I didn't used to ask for consent, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
I can
I'm
blame
saying-
Trav. Trav is creepy ass Trav. You know,
I mean,
that's
Trav
creepy.
is tricky, Trav. Though I mean, that's,
Trav
I
pants is
mean,
creepy.
And tricking, being too quick to trick is creepy sometimes. Like,
I
yeah,
Fuck it is.
it's creepy because you giving me herpy vibes. You giving me you
herpy
vibes. You giving me
Yo,
community
what?
vibes.
What the
You
fuck?
giving me community dick vibes, and I don't like that. Nigga, slow down. I'm gonna accept a free drink, but I see you for everybody, and that's creepy.
I
But
think
did
that
Ron want to say something though? Weren't you like
That pink hair.
she was doing all of this?
oh, I ain't see her. You was trying to chime in real quick? She act like she can't.
Her video is moving. She might be stuck.
Maybe.
Who are Rakia?
Yeah. I think she. Yeah,
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah, they was talking about
Oh,
you.
shit.
Yo.
She stayed there like yo, what's going on? Like
Lost for- I was lost for a minute. I don't know. I think it's situational. You gotta know who you're dealing with when it comes to this type of thing. If you can't, when it comes to consent and asking, if I pull up to a dude house and I'm in his bed, one, I already know if we bumping bellies or not. And I'm one of those people, I'll tell him like, nah, because you might try to, if I don't tell him, let's say it's one of those nights where I don't communicate that, and in the middle of the night, he go reaching for my honey spot and he touch a pad. He gonna be sick. Like, so I'd I'd rather say like, honey spot ain't open tonight. Like, I'll let him know that way he won't feel uncomfortable. I won't feel uncomfortable. Then I'll know how much I can put my butt on him when we sleeping, just for those purposes. But I think it's situational. Like, not men don't only have to read the room, but women have to read it as well. Like,
yes, that is what I was getting ready to say. It's all about, because Jax, you were making this point, like, it seems that we are just saying that the man has to read the room. To me, it's whoever is the aggressor. If as a man, if you're trying to approach a woman for sex or anything for that matter, you need to read the room. If I am a woman, Jax, if I'm a woman walking up to you and I want to fuck you, I need to first read your energy. I need to look at you and figure out, looking at this man, does he look like he wants to be approached? Looking at this man, does he even give signals? Is his body loose enough for me to assume that he wants me to walk up to him at all? Right? Like both parties need to read the room. But I wanted to ask a question to everybody, actually, because somebody said earlier that you need to, it depends on the person, right? Like, that aggressive shit might work for one person, but then for the next person, that might be too much and that might turn them off. Like, you might have been cool at first, but then like sexually, like aggressively approaching them sexually might be a turnoff, right? But you don't know that. It depends on the person. But could this have a lot to do with the fact that we don't get to know people before we even try to have sex with them first? We don't get to know personalities. We don't get to know what do they like, what don't they like. We don't get to know that shit. Today, it's I want to meet you, I want to fuck you. Like,
and we have
that's
sex
the
by Friday
society that we live in, right? Like, we're no longer taking the time to figure out, Vic, is Vic more closed off? Does he want, does he prefer me to approach him a little more gentle? Or does he prefer me to grab his balls, reach under his dick and grab his balls? Like, is that what he prefers? Like, I would never know because I haven't gotten to know Vic. I'm just doing things the way I want to do them, but I don't know the nigga because I have not given it the time that it's due.
Let me rebut, right?
Yes, rebut.
From a male perspective, like everything you said, I don't even disagree with at all. But from a male perspective, everything that you just said, like playing the long game, so to speak, or playing it safe in order to get to know the person, so you know how to handle them when the sexual scenario is actually on the table. With some women, the way that is perceived is as, this nigga is a bitch. This nigga is not aggressive enough for me. So if he's not aggressive enough for me just in daily interaction, there's no way that the dick gonna be good, because that's not part of his personality. It's women out there like that.
I agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know those women, and I know gang banging ass bitches, but we still.
Her and these gays, I can't fucking handle it.
Yeah, blood.
But
10 years ago.
Yeah, blood. Yeah, well,
I think that's these younger girls are, and I sound old as fuck, sorry y'all, but they just are super, and my baby sister is like that, like super aggressive and hard, but there are a lot of men who respond to that and they want that. I go through that like off and on with my dude. Like, sometimes he's used to them bitches born after 1984, and I'm like, yo, hold up, like,
what's wrong with 84?
I feel attacked.
We old too now, nigga. What you mean?
Okay, let's say not 86. Let's say after 86.
Yeah,
you better? Yeah. But my thing is,
because I'm born in the 90s. Hold on.
You born in the 90s?
I'm 30.
First of all, bring your voice down, because I was born in 1990, so relax.
Oh, y'all
niggas
left. Right, like I'm 30.
I remember when I was born in 1990.
Hold on.
Right.
The City Girl group. The City Girl group. Y'all not the City Girl.
don't that because I ain't that.
Okay, that's what I'm really getting at. The City Girl group. That after 96. Let's say people born after 96. Them little fucking bitches are very toxic. Very that and just really rough. And I think it's a time and place for that, but not all men want that. Not all men, They want a woman who can hold their own, and if a bitch come at you, Like, I'm gonna take my earrings off and break a nail for you, but they don't want that all the time. But it does come back to just being yourself and reading the fucking room, read narrative. Take the time. If that's what you do on site, then cool. I went out Friday night. This big old white boy was like, he just stepped to me. And I was like, hey, I appreciate the confidence, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, I
Turning
saw
them down right
him
after.
You
for
turned
like,
down.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't gang, so shit.
but he was watching me and my girl for like an hour, like just over there looking at how we drink and this and that. But I was even telling her, and my friend is only 26, and I was like, you see those guys over there? They are really like kind of just seeing who they could vibe with, who's having fun, who could they approach, because there was another group of females at like next to us. We were totally different, but they approached us, and I think it was because they saw like cool energetic vibes, but they didn't come at us crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just read the room. You do you. It doesn't matter how she is. And if someone comes at you and says you're gay or that's weak or that's what the fuck, of course you ain't gotta ask me to fuck me, just fuck me. Then you can
That's
fuck.
right.
I know it may seem like it's easier said than done. Like, I can't just walk up to a man and be like, look, I want to get married in 18 months. You got to kiss me, fuck me, and blah, blah, blah. You got to have them 9 inches. I can't just walk up to somebody and say all that. You know what I'm saying? And then I can't assume after we do start communicating that, because if he comes with that, I'm going to say, yeah, I am very interested in having sex. What's the inches hanging like? You know? Then that makes
You stupid. You stupid. I want to ask you this, not you specifically, but I just want to ask you guys collectively this: like, can we all agree that there is a part of women that do want to be taken, right? Without having to express what it is they want. They just want a man to do it without them having to ask, without them having to teach, without them having to guide, without them having to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there's a large part of women, a large population of women who that's kind of like an ideal situation for them. So that innately puts men in a tough space, because you do have to, that's the room that you have to read, whether this is the first time or the 100th time that you've had sex with this girl. And the hard part about, I'm sorry, the hard part about that is you could be right with your timing and with your mind reading 99 times, but you only really get seriously penalized for the one time that you're wrong. The one time that you're trying to be aggressive, you're trying to be assertive, you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to take her and overpower her, and like, but in a sensual, sexy way. But that one time that's not what she on, that fuck everything up from that point forward. So that's what I feel like niggas like me are trying to avoid. Like, I'd rather just play that shit safe. And you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about it. Let's speak on it. Whatever. Like, fuck this mind reading shit, because I don't ever want to be the guy who's gonna overstep that boundary. Because once you overstep a sexual boundary, it's not really too much coming back from that. And my bad, Fresh. What was you about to say?
Nah, Jack. No. You good, man. Because I've been in here, you know what I'm saying, listening to you guys, man, and I'm hearing a lot of different scenarios. I'm hearing a lot of different things going on. But the thing that I think keeps on ringing in my head is misplaced expectations. And in the sense of, you know, because you laid out a lot tonight. I ain't gonna lie, you laid out a lot. So it's kind of like this. It's like how you was talking about, is it a such thing that basically, are we living in a situation where women, you know, they run the room, they run the, you know what I'm saying, they run the platform as far as just how things are going to go in the whole nine. And I'm just like you know what I'm saying? I stay low key, I play my part, you know what I'm saying, and I just try to stay as safe as possible. Like, even from the time that I was a kid, before I even had sex for the first time, I already knew in my head that I was going to be the guy that was never going to pressure a woman or wanted her to feel pressure. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew as a kid, this is going to be me. I'm going to rock with this. And And what I've seen happen a lot of times is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because I'm that guy, I'm also the guy that get to hear all the fucking horror stories too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with me being in that role, I've been granted the opportunity to learn a lot. And so people like me and yourself, we're having this discussion and you're going back and forth with a lot of stuff, is because we're having to pay for the niggas of pussy pass. Like, we're having to, all of the niggas that have fucked up pussy previously, we're having to pay for that shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know what I'm saying? For all of their fuck ups, right? So it's like, it's a situation where you got to understand that, you know what I'm saying? A woman already knows if she wants to fuck you in the first 5 minutes of meeting you anyway. It's your job not to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to a lot of things, other things that you're talking about, as far as, you know, maybe she wants somebody more aggressive. Maybe she wants, you know, these certain things. That's a skill that has to be learned, not expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, a woman is going to let you know what she likes. It's just up to you to build that up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you doing what you're doing and how you playing it isn't wrong, because honestly, myself, I've gotten a lot of pussy by just being cool, staying low key, and not making the woman feel pressured to have sex.
Right.
So I've been told on numerous occasions, like, yo, I was really horny, I was really ready to have sex with you. I knew that we would have a good sexual chemistry, because you're one of the only guys that never put that pressure on me, and that made me more attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I see what you're saying, and it's a lot of levels to it, but for the assholes that just want to be like, oh, he gay, or oh, he this, oh, he that, it's like, they just not for you, and everybody not for everybody.
That's true. That's definitely true.
There's something he said that I agree with. You got to do it enough times where you can able to read different scenarios. And I kind of feel like if you just back off and don't do anything and try to play it safe, you're not gonna know that. Like, I think the reason why I'm able to do certain things, I've learned very early on, is not what you say to women, is how you say them to women. Like, but there's certain topics that I'm able to talk to women that if a random dude just bring it up, you're gonna get shut down. I think if you, I think you have to do it enough where you're able to read the room. It's like practice. Like, if you just fall back and don't do anything, you're gonna miss out. You really have to do it. Because I, like, even on Saturday, I told you what happened. Like, so I asked her if I could kiss her, whatever, kissed her, whatever. Then I walked her to her car, kissed her again. I'm reading all of that, all of those information, and then when I'm about to walk away, and she, I don't know what she said, and I walked back to her. I pulled her mask off and kissed her again. Like, y'all
Nigga
be,
got the COVID,
y'all be,
nigga.
y'all be.
Boy,
I pulled the
You out
mask
here
off.
COVID kissing?
COVID,
that nigga
Bruh.
temperature high right now.
No, but one funny thing that happened is she sat down, right, and we started kissing, and I walked away. She's like, I feel like you want to do, like, you want to be more. No, what did she say? She said, I feel like you want to do more than kiss, and I was like, yeah.
It's like you're ready.
You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. I walked away, and for a split second, I walked away, and then on my drive home, I was like, yo, was I being too aggressive? Like, I actually had that split second,
She probably
like,
felt the
thought to
pressure
my
drive.
mind. And then later on, while she driving, she's like, yo, I ain't gonna front. I like that. Like, I feel like you have to do it enough where you can read it. Because if she gave me the slightest little whatever, I would have been able to read, like, all right, yo, chill, fall back. It's like, I feel like you really do have to do it enough. You know, not enough. I ain't saying violate nobody, but if you talk to enough women, you could kind of tell, bro. You could kind of, but then again, that comes with the, I could read something that's not there also.
Yeah, and yo, Vic, you made a great point too, yo, as far as just how you explain that thin line between